Well, one thing, it is a systematic planned growth. This is a uniqueness of ISRO. We have not taken programs at random. First, as I told you, we wanted communication satellite. That was realized with foreign help. But then we wanted to launch that satellite with our own vehicle. So we have the GSLV vehicles which are developed. Similarly, the remote sensing satellites initially was launched from Russia. So we wanted to have self-reliance. We have the PSLV which is developed. And it started with something like 500, 600 kg. But today up to 1500 kg, taken. Yeah. So it's all oriented towards the needs of the country with a long-term perspective. See, ISRO normally draws up a 10-year plan. It's a rolling plan. So we set the goals for this and all the things. Also, ISRO's success is using the past experience and knowledge for the future program. See, if you take the PSLV, that was really a workhorse launcher as far as India is concerned. There, the solid propellant, huge boosters are there. Viking Vikas engine, the liquid rocket engine is there. Again, the upper stage motor, which is similar to what is used in the satellites and so on. These elements were used. When it came to GSLV, all these modules were there. In addition, we wanted a upper stage with a cryogenic propellant. So that's the only new element which is in that. Okay. So, it's a systematic adaptation of the developed technologies, and that is really which has accelerated the program and made us come so far. Of course, when it wanted to make the GSLV Mark III, it has been scaled up. The solid booster, which was only 150 ton, 250 ton propellant has to be loaded. So naturally, it's slightly larger and things like that. But the experience of what we have made with the 125 tons has been transferred here. Okay. So like that, the systematic way of using what we have learned in the past. You take Earth observation cameras, it was limited by the sensor resolution. So the sensors we try to get from outside, but when it was not there, it was developed here. Similarly, the optics which is required, it started with a small telescope, maybe about 50 millimeter or something like that. But today, something like 1 meter telescopes are there, which is using composite materials and so on. Communication transponders, we started with S-band. Now, today, we have got a C-band and KU-band. KU-band is most popular for the ETH and things like that. And now, for the large data transmission, we are trying to use the K-band. Okay. So, the transponders get changed. But the satellite mainframe remains same. The other controls and everything remains same. So, like that, a progressive improvement in the performance using minimum investment in new technologies. That is the concept which over. See, one thing ISRO from the beginning itself wanted to leave the production to the industry. Yeah. So that concept now it is more facilitated through the new regulation, rules, etc. So it's a welcome thing, and definitely the ISRO's loads on routine production will come down. Yeah. But at the same time, the resources which is freed from there, it has to be used for advanced technology. The future development in the space technology in the country is still more demanding than what we have done in the past. First priority I'll give for the rural connectivity. Providing the high bandwidth connectivity to remote villages in the country should form the first priority. Second one, Earth observation, we have got the satellites visiting once in a day or once in a week and things like that. It is not sufficient. In a day itself, about 3 or 4 visits the satellite should make. A constellation of Earth observation satellites should come. That should not only be for the atmospheric clouds alone. You have to look at all this carbon dioxide, methane, all this aerosol and all those things, So that type of complex satellite system for Earth observation has to come. Again, of course, associated development of new techniques for the climate change related studies has to be evolved. The radar imaging is very important because the optical sensors will not see through the cloud, and even nighttime observation is not possible. Again, radar imaging we have done now, some 2 satellites we have done. But it's not sufficient. We have to flood with the number of satellites, about 20 or 25. And not only that, develop interpreting software. It's not like optical imaging, it's a much more difficult that. The technologies for that has to be perfected to identify the objects and things like that.
Okay.
So this kind of, on the one side, and the spacecraft related things are there. The launcher side, we have reached a stage where we can take a 10-ton module to orbit. That is, even a man capsule will go in that. But that is not adequate. If we want to have our men going to Mars or Moon, we require at least a 25-ton module. So for that, expanding the present concept is not sufficient.
Okay.
We have to go for eco-friendly fuel, semi-cryogenic engine. Again, some lubricating activities are taking place. It has to be taken to a fruition. We should have a powerful semi-cryogenic engine through which we can make a bigger rocket system, which can take about 25 tons or so into orbit, and maybe even 5 or 6 tons to the moon and so on. So that type of planetary exploration becomes our priority. When you want to have the manned mission or unmanned mission to these planets, the robotic technology or the new habitat development in a hostile environment. So these are new things to be done. Again, long-term space travel. That is just not only the space technology, but the human engineering, to understand the physiology better. That type of challenges will come. And there will be a lot of spin-off benefits coming out of that. So like that, if you look at it, the ISRO's future program will be 100 times more stronger and powerful than what it is today. So it's a great opportunity for the youngsters in the country.
And one aspect was the reusable vehicle, also which was being talked about, especially following the Elon Musk experiments and all. So that also is, I think, going forward.
10 years before Elon Musk, on boy Janardana who was working with me, he came out with the same idea.
Okay.
He said that the second stage of PSLV, which is flying, it can deploy some wings and land in Andamans, and we'll pick it up from there.
Okay.
So the concept was there. Again, because of lack of resources, we didn't pursue at the time.
Okay.
Then I remember we have initiated that recovery demonstration experiment. Then after a reusable one launcher module is made, and it is sent on a sounding rocket, and not on the orbit, but the suborbital flight we have done that. So that concepts are being evolved. But now the semi-cryogenic rocket, what you are talking about, with that we will have enough power. With that we can do as good or better than Elon Musk.
Okay.
We can bring back the launcher to the launcher, and a 2-stage to orbit will become norm. It will be cost effective. Today's cost can be reduced by a factor of 5 or something like that. So that is going to be access to space. Even today, India is the cheapest transport provider. Our cost is something like 80% of the international cost. That's the reason that the people are coming here and launching it.
Yeah.
So with this new vehicle, which can come in maybe 5-6 years time, we can provide meet the world market.
Yeah. That's